What's up YouTube, PokePrimer here, proud and ready to deliver you our Week 9 team builder here for the WCBL. This week we are taking on, I believe he was the founder of the league, and that is Chu Cast-Harto, Chu, and what is his team name? I am forgetting. What is his team name? I have it over here. He is the coach of the Vancouver Victinis, and he has quite a chunky, and if I do mean chunky ass fucking squad, if I do say so myself. His squad consists of Deoxys Defense, Gengar as his Z captain, Donphan, Serena, Registeel, Altaria, Mega Gyarados, Entei, Jolteon, Hawlucha, and Granbull. So right off the bat, one of the first things I noticed was, and it was quite clear and obvious and noticeable, was the fact that his team is fat. Very fat. Deoxys Defense, Donphan, Serena, Registeel, all those mons just swallow hits, as well as Granbull as well, can be very, very tanky. So that's going to be a bit of a problem to deal with, I know for sure. That's going to be annoying. Z Gengar is going to be a threat because I don't have too many things that outspeed it. I do have one thing that does, and I have to be careful with it, so I need to preserve it as much as I can so that I don't lose it early on, because I don't want to lose it, because if I lose it, I might lose to the Gengar, scarily. As well as Mega Gyarados is always a threat, really, really big problem to deal with in League format. Entei, I have more than enough to handle Entei, I'm not worried about it. Jolteon, super duper fast, faster than everything on my squad. Gonna be a problem. And we got a Hawlucha, again, another huge, huge threat. His team is just filled with threats, and they're so fat and so bulky, and oh my god. It's going to be a journey, to say the very least. It's going to be a journey. But I think with the squad that I've thrown together, I think I can pull it off. It's not going to be easy, to say the very least. It's not going to be easy. I actually want to check something real fast, like, I can't. Damn it, that's why I had it the way it was. 32, and then that went there. Okay. So, first mon I'm bringing is Jack Black, our Pangoro. Pangoro has been putting in endless amounts of work for our team. This thing has been an absolute monster every single week, and I can't say enough good things about this Pokemon. I just can't. It's just that fucking amazing. Like, I've had way too many matches that have come down to, oh, you know, I guess I might lose this, and then all of a sudden, bam, I win because this beautiful creature got some form of damage off on something, and that gets me the win. Like, Pangoro is just such a good Pokemon. I'm really happy to have it. We are going with an Adamant Nature Life Orb with enough speed, outspeed a max speed Granbull. I think he's seen at this point how good I am with Pangoro, so he might want to try to throw me off by bringing max speed on his Granbull, so I will be speed creeping that by 1 point. If he brings a Scarf Granbull, then kudos to you, Chu. You just blew my mind. But enough speed to outspeed that thing. We got Drain Punch, Knockoff, Gunk Shot, and Parting Shot. I am running the Iron Fist just because of Drain Punch, because there's really nothing on his team that has any abilities that I need to worry about. So I'm not going to run Mold Breaker for no fucking reason. It just seems dumb. I don't need Scrappy either, because I'm a Dark type, so I can just click Knockoff against... Like Knockoff is going to be the thing I click 9 times out of 10. So, and even if Gengar's holding a Z Crystal, I can just... I'm going to hit a Knockoff on it, and it's coming from base 124 Adamant Life Orb. It's going to blow the Gengar off. It's out of the world. So, I'm not too worried about the Gengar as much. Just like this thing can handle Gengar if it has to. I mean, I know that he's going to be bringing Dazzling Gleam, but that's not the point. Yeah, we got the Gunk Shot on there, so we can hit that Granbull. We will also be able to hit the Serena with it as well. Drain Punch is for the Gyarados, the Registeel, and all that other nonsense, just for stab. Knockoff, again, just for stab, but to get rid of items on a lot of his team. He does not have, besides Mega Gyarados, he does not, and Hawlucha, I guess, he doesn't really have a Dark Resist, so I can really take advantage of that. And I have Parting Shot because a lot of times throughout the game I'm going to be forcing things out with this Mon, so I'm going to be going for Parting Shots as much as I can, so that I can keep the momentum going and put myself into better situations to win the game. I think Pangoro gives me a lot of opportunities to do that, so I'm very, very happy that I do have Pangoro here this week. Next up, finally, I don't believe I've used him yet. If I have I used him yet? Hold up, y'all are gonna... I have not used him yet, and I'm very saddened, but finally, Shroomsy's coming to a game. Shroomsy's coming to a game. Okay, so looking at his team, the one thing that really threatens Shroomsy, the things that threaten Shroomsy are Hawlucha, Entei, and Deoxys. Well, Psychic types, but he has Deoxys defense, and that doesn't scare me. So really, the only things that scare me on his team are the Entei and the Jolteon, or the Entei and the Hawlucha. I'm not too worried about it. That's why I'm physically defensive, so I can at least take maybe one hit from both if I have to. Got Spore on deck. The only thing that he really can bring in on a Spore is the Serena, and Serena doesn't want to get hit by a potential Sludge Bomb, so that could be something that I can take to my advantage. Giga Drain is there so that I can 1v1 the Donphan. I can take on the Donphan. I can chip down with the Gyarados. Gyarados really can't do too much to me unless it sets up, and while it's setting up, I'm just going to be able to click Giga Drain, and then click Clear Smog, and then click Giga Drain, click Clear Smog, because I have the Clear Smog because he does have a few things that can set up. SD Hawlucha, if I think he might predict me to switch, although I'm thinking Power Herb Sky Attack might be his play with the Hawlucha, is my thought process there. If he's an SD Granbull, maybe. If he is of course, Dragon Dance Mega Gyarados, which I think he most likely will be. Yeah, he's got a lot of things that can set up, and I want him to not be able to do that. We have HP Ice as well, because I want to hit the Altaria. I do, for some reason, there's just part of me that's telling me that Altaria is coming to the match. I don't know why. I think it's dumb of me to think that, but yeah, I don't know. Something inside me is just like, yeah, HP Ice is good. So, who knows? Who the fuck knows? We will see what happens. I think it'll be a worthwhile bring in the long run. There's really nothing else I can throw on there, to be honest, so I just kind of went with it. So, fuck it. We're going to go with it. Next up, we have Kakashi, the Choice Specs Greninja. Specs Greninja is just too good. It's hard for me not to bring it on a more regular basis, you know what I mean? It's difficult for me not to bring. We have Dark Pulse, Ice Beam, Hydro Pump, and U-Turn. U-Turn's just for the momentum, nothing too particular there. Dark Pulse will break through the Deoxys defense and blow away the Gengar, as well as just doing good neutral damage to about the majority of his team. We have Ice Beam for the Hawlucha, because this is the only thing we have that outspeeds Hawlucha. So that's why we have as much speed investment as we do, because it is a base 118 Mon. So it caps out at 360, either 367 or 368, I don't remember. I think it's 368. Yeah, it's 368, so we are at 369 speed, so we can outspeed it. And then we got the Hydro Pump just for the stab damage, so that they can click it just randomly and get damage off on something. Because this thing is just here for damage output. This thing's just to punch holes through things, and it typically does a very good job of it. Now, with a Mega Gyarados on the other side, I decided it would be smart to bring my double Water Core, and so it means I bring Shizzy the Suicune, Scald, Roar, Toxic, and Ice Beam. Scald is just for stab purposes. It'll allow me to beat down the Donphan, it'll allow me to potentially get burns on things, beat down the Entei, shit like that. We have Toxic, so that I can Toxic the really bulky things that I can't handle with this, like Serena, Deoxys, can't Toxic Registeel. I can Toxic just about anything else on the team. Roar is specifically for the Gyarados. I want to, if the Gyarados tries to set up, I want to be able to bring this thing in, click Roar, and let it disappear, and keep it like that. And then Ice Beam is so I can hit the Serena and hit the Altaria if I have to. It's not that big of a deal, but it's something so that this thing isn't totally useless against the Mons. And I think Shizzy can put in a lot of work this week. So, best of luck for Shizzy. Next up, we have Choice Guard Nidoking again. Just seemed like a really, really good bring this week. I have enough speed so that I can outspeed a max speed Jolly Mega Gyarados. So that I can hit that thing with a Sheer Force Thunderbolt and do as much damage as I can. I'm pretty sure it's not a one-shot. I'll almost be willing to guarantee that it's not a one-shot. But I'd also be willing to guarantee that it is decent damage. That's not the move that I want. It's about half. It does about half. So I can basically, like, if it tries to set up a Dragon Dance on me, I can just, I can two-shot it, which is nice. It would be really, really nice for me. I hope that happens, because that way I can get off some really good damage on it, and then I don't have to worry about it as much. So that would be hype as hell. I'm really hoping that works out. We also have Earth Power, Sludge Wave, and Ice Beam. Just overall good coverage for his team. Earth Power hits a lot of things, but this is another way to break through the Registeel as well as break down the Entei and Jolteon. This thing's the only thing on my team that can outspeed Jolteon, so hopefully I can get this thing to work out. Sludge Wave is to break through the Granbull and the Serena, which is really, really helpful. And then we have the Ice Beam, which will break through the Donphan. So we have the appropriate moves to break through all of his threats. It's just a matter of the proper predictions, which I don't know. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I've been on a pretty good prediction game lately. My predictions have been pretty on point from what I've noticed. So hopefully I will be able to keep up that streak. I don't know. We'll see. But lastly, we are bringing Metal Burb, the Skarmory. No rocks this week because looking at his team, he has Donphan and Serena as Rapid Spinners, and he has that's all of his hazard removal. But regardless, he's got good enough hazard removal that I don't think I can stop it, because my only ghost type on my team is Mismagius, and I could try to spin block with Mismagius, but like, what do I do after that? Like, what do I do against them after that? Part of me thought about bringing maybe Life Orb or Specs Mismagius this week, to kind of take advantage of things and just spin block and then go for a nasty hard hit. But that won't last long because Mismagius doesn't have the bulk to outlast a team like that. Like, it's not like a bulky ghost like a Dusknoir or a Dhelmise that can easily spin block, take hits, and do work back. It only fits 2 of those 3 categories, which is unfortunate. So instead of that, I just decided to go for overall damage output, because a fully physically defensive Skarmory would be really good against his team. Now what you're thinking, why are you going physically defensive, bro? He has a Gengar. I know he's got a Gengar. I'm aware. I'm also fully aware that I'm probably going to have to sack something to the Gengar at some point to get Greninja in on it. And I'm going to try to avoid having to do that as much as possible, but I know it's going to happen. But this thing is the best thing to possibly have against his team, because this is an amazing switch in every time to Serena. This is a good switch in. This is an okay switch in to Hawlucha. This is a great switch into Granbull. This is a great switch in to... This is an awesome switch into Donphan. This thing can stare down Deoxys defense. This thing can stare down a Dragon Dance Altaria if he brings it. And the Rocky Helmet chip is going to be super duper important. Extremely important. Because, truthfully, I think his physical threats are going to be a bigger problem for me than his special ones. And it's in my honest opinion. I just think that some of his physically this is a good thing to just sit in front of some of his physically offensive mons or some of his bulky mons and just 1v1 them for a bit. Like, I can definitely do that. It's just going to be a pain in the ass to do, you know? So, hopefully this thing can put in some work. Roost, Defog, Brave Bird, and Toxic. Brave Bird's just there for, like, if I'm 1v1ing against the Serena, or if I'm 1v1ing against the Hawlucha. For some reason they decide to stay in, I'll be able to get that damage off. But it'll be good for Chip on other things that he might want to try to switch into it. Toxic is good against the bulky things. Again, I can just click Toxic most of the time. If he brings Registeel, which I doubt he doesn't, if he brings Registeel, that's a good switch into this thinging, so I'm going to have to be careful about just clicking Toxic on Mons, because as long as Registeel's alive, Registeel just comes in on this clean every time. 100%, no doubt. Roost and Defog, again, just keeping myself healthy, keeping myself at full or as close to full as I can. And Defog because, while I'm not bringing hazards, I don't mind just bringing Defog, because I can easily defog away his hazards whenever I get the chance. I mean, he's got Donphan and Registeel to set up rocks, so those are both amazing hazard setters, and Deoxys Defense is the best hazard setter in my opinion in the game, one of the best, because that shit's fucking fast as fuck, boy. Well, not fast as fuck, it's fat as fuck, that's what I mean. And it gets spikes and rocks, so I think that thing's going to be a very prominent hazard setter against me, so I think hazards are coming. It's just a matter of which mon brings them and which mon I can defog on. Which I can defog on the majority of his team, so. So, well, we'll see what happens, but for that's going to be the team here. We're going to get into the battle right now, so stick around. This is going to be a good one. Here we go. Alright guys, we are here with our Week 9 battle here in the WCBL against Chu and the Vancouver Victinis. I don't want to say his team name wrong and be a dick. Vancouver Victinis. Yes sir, that is what it is. You can see here he decided to bring his Entei, his Deoxys Defense, his Gyarados, his Donphan, his Registeel, and his Gengar. So it's going to be one crazy, wild back and forth match, I think, for sure. Hopefully it goes in our favor, but we're going to get this thing started. I'm going to lead with a Moongus right off the bat, as he's going to lead with Deoxys Defense. Give them the D. I love the nickname. He's going to swap out immediately. He doesn't want to get put to sleep. He goes into Hokage, the Entei, which has the safety goggles, which is a really good bring on his part. Really, really solid. Love it. Really love it. I go immediately into my Suicune, and he goes for a Calm Mind, and I'm like, oh, garbage. He goes for second Calm Mind here, however, and I click Roar. So screw your Calm Minds. I'm not letting you set up on me any day. Goes into the Donphan. I'm immediately going to click Scald here. Maybe I can get a burn on something, maybe not. Would have been nice if I got a burn on the Deoxys. Would have been great, but unfortunately. He's going to taunt me there, as I'm going to try to go for a Toxic on it. Unfortunately, he's able to get me with that. A little bit sad. Sad boy. I'm going to go now into my Pangoro, because Pangoro is a threat to this thing. He gets a crit Thunderbolt on my Pangoro, which is really annoying. I don't like that situation. He's going to go now into his Gyarados, which intimidates me. I also knock him off, but he is a Mega Gyarados, I know that. He's going to Mega Evolve, and he's going to go for Bounce, which is really, really good tech on his part. Really, really good bring. I'm going to swap out, though. I have my Skarmory, which is just an immediate perfect switch in for a Bounce. from this thing. I'm going to get the Rocky Helmet damage off on it as well, which is good. He's going to go now into his Hokage. I'm going to go for a Toxic and miss. Toxic would have been super good there too, but unfortunately it didn't work out. So I'm going to go now right into Shizzy, as he's going to go for a Fire Blast. Fire Blast does nothing to Suicune, as I'm going to be able to recover off that damage. I'm going to go just straight for a Scald here, or a Toxic here, and I miss anyway, even though it doesn't affect Gengar. I've missed every Toxic I've gone for in this matchup. I've been screwed out of every Toxic. It's really upsetting. So I just go for a Scald on the Gengar here. It's going to get the Curse Body off of me, which just really fucking sucks. Just really fucking sucks. So he's going for Sludge Wave. That did a lot of damage. I think that he might... I thought he was Specs for a minute, but I didn't look at the calc. He goes for Psychic as I switch into my Nidoking here, which is really unfortunate. I go for the Earth Power, and it does minimal damage to this Deoxys, like, at all. Like, does nothing. So I'm just going to go for Earth Power again. I'm just going to sack my Nidoking, because there's nothing else I can really do. Nidoking just doesn't have enough HP to really do anything else in this matchup. So I'm going to go into Pangoro, and again, this thing is threatened. But this time, I'm actually going to be smart about this, and I'm going to click Parting Shot. I knew he was going to go into Gyarados. I could have just clicked the Drain Punch, but I clicked Parting Shot anyway, just to be smart. Now I go into Greninja, and I'm able to U-turn on this thing, and it does not take it out. And I'm like, oh, that's unfortunate. I go into Skarmory here, and I'm able to actually just, like, he misses the bounce, which really sucks. And I'm just going to be able to Roost, and I'm going to get back up to full. So I have my Sturdy again, which is really great. He's just going to go for the Waterfall and die to the Rocky Helmet. I forget what I went for here. I think I just went for Brave Bird, which is actually a really dumb play. I probably could have, if I... Did I have rocks for this match? I think I had rocks for this match. I could have got rocks up or something there. He goes for a Thunder on the switch into my Amoonguss. He's actually going to swap now into Entei here, which is a really good play on his part, trying to predict me. But I actually go into my Greninja, so I guess I kind of predicted him a little bit there. Ha ha ha, sunny, funny, funny. I go for a Specs Hydro Pump, and it does 39% to this Registeel. That is important damage to remember, 39%. So I'm going to go into Pangoro here, as this thing's going to go for a Thunder Punch. It's fine by me. I'm okay with you Thunder Punching me. No biggie. I am going to now go for a knockoff here, I believe. Yeah, knockoff into the Donphan. It's going to lose its lefties, which is great. And then I'm just going to go for a Drain Punch and kill off his Donphan. So Donphan just dies. Donphan doesn't do anything in the match, which is fantastic in my eyes. He's going to go now right out to his Hokage. And I'm going to swap into my Suicune, because again, Suicune is the best swap. He's going to Fire Blast again, and it's going to do, again, negligible damage. He's going to try to Calm Mind again, as I'm just going to go for a Scald. Gets an actually significant damage on him, which is really good. He's going to HP Grass. He's going to reveal the HP Grass on me, and I'm just going to roar him out, because fuck you, you're not allowed to get fucking boosts on me. How fucking dare you boost up on my face? How fucking dare you? I'm just going to go for the Scald on the Registeel, as he does switch in the Gengar once again. He's going to hit a Sludge Wave on me. It does not kill me. It does not kill me, so I am able to take out the Gengar with the Scald, but he's going to get the Cursed Body on me once again. He's going to go into the Deoxys and go for the Thunderbolt, and it's going to drop my Suicune, which is unfortunate, but that's fine. I go into Jack Black here, and he's going to go for the Thunderbolt just to get some chip down on me, and I'm going to knock off and take out his Deoxys. So now he just has his Entei and his Registeel left. Now, I'm going to misplay huge here, and it's going to be a misplay that costs me the game in the long run. And I'll tell you why. I'm going to stay in here and just attack this Hokage, maybe thinking I might overpredict and try to swap out. Because originally I planned in my head, the first thing I was planning on doing was to swap into Greninja, because Greninja could take a non-boosted HP Grass, and then I can just click Hydro Pump, and I'd be good to go. However, I decided to stay in because I thought he might try to set up on me if I swapped, and it backfires. So he's just going to go straight for an Hidden Power, which is a smart play on his part. Very good play on his part. Probably could have sacked Skarm there, maybe. Now I just go into my Kakashi. I could have lived one HP Grass. I could have gone for the Hydro Pump and killed this thing. And then I hit this first Hydro Pump. Like, look at that, 37%. Really good damage, right? So 45%. I can live another one. So he's at 49%. 2 more Hydro Pumps guaranteed kills him. I missed the first one. That's key. That is huge. I'm still live this one. It's fine. I can still get another one off, and maybe if I can put him to sleep, I can wear him down with. So I missed the second one, and that's basically game. I'll be honest with you. I was just really upset at this point, and I kind of stalled for a bit to be a dick. I put him to sleep, but he sets up curses, and basically it's just a. I'm going to skip through the rest of this because I'm not going to have you sit through the next 40 turns of the battle. It's basically just he eventually kills off my Amoonguss, and basically he does some damage to my Skarm every now and then, but I'm just continuously roosting off trying to prevent him from doing more damage, and I'm just clicking random moves at this point, and we're just... But eventually, I'm just going to I'm going to click Defog here and on this 73rd turn, and he's going to click Thunder Punch, and he's going to kill me. The Rocky Helmet was the only thing doing damage to him at this point. I couldn't do any damage with Brave Bird. I couldn't do any damage with Giga Drain or anything else on my Amoonguss. It was... I'm really upset with how the match turned out, because if I had just done the swap into Greninja like I wanted to, I would have been good to go. But sadly, it wasn't. So, that's our first loss since joining the league. We're on a bit of a winning streak. I guess it had to end eventually. Next week we take on Nada, who is another one of the commissioners and the Stockton Heatrans. He's also one of the better battlers in the league. So hopefully we can pull out a win in that match too. Hopefully we can come back from this. With that, guys, though, I'm going to get out of here. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, I'm PokePrimer, signing out.